Yeah, you might have noticed we have a few words with more than two vowels. Today we're going to talk about E, E, U, and W. Very specific pronunciation. So let's try these words. Eeuw, leeuw, meeuw. Very good. Schreeuw. I know, difficult, but you can do this.
This sound. O, E, I. Yes, three vowels, same as the one we saw last time. A little bit different. One word in which you will find this is moeilijk. You already know the word. Difficult. Notice moeilijk. Yes, you get the OE sound and then kind of like a J sound, but combined. Or how about this one? Moeite. Difficulty. Difficult. Moeite. Oeite. Now, you can also find this in other words like plurals or infinitives. For example, this one. Koeien. Koeien. The I gets kind of like a J sound and is added to the EN. Exactly. Koeien. In a verb, for example, groeien. To grow. Groeien. So the I is a vowel, but gets kind of like a consonant sound, a J sound. So, three vowels together. How about O, O, I? Yeah, there are some words where we find three vowels together. Like, for example, rotzooi. Rotzooi, garbage. Notice that it ends in Z-O-O-I, and the I is kind of like a J sound. Now, there are not many words, but there are some verbs or plurals where you do get these sounds, and even with four vowels. Like, for example, gooien, to throw. Gooien. Yes, the I becomes kind of like a J sound and goes to the EN. Or vlooien. Vlooien as in fleece. Yeah, I know. Just thinking about it, indeed. But notice that, yes, it is an I that sounds like a J, and yeah, it goes like a consonant. Let's talk about one of my favorites from the Netherlands, from my neck of the woods. Vlaai. Again, a word with three vowels. A, I. Vlaai. Notice that the I gets a consonant sound, like a J. Vlaai. Now, there are not many words that have this, so let's talk about, let's say, some plurals or infinitives, where we can find more of these. So, vlaai, as in pie. The plural will be vlaaien. We add the en, and notice that the I indeed goes to the en with a consonant sound. The same happens with the verb waaien. The wind blowing. Waaien. Yes, indeed. Jen. That's kind of like the sound. But no, we use the vowel I. Another one would be Draaien. To turn. Draaien. Same as all the other sounds that we have seen before with the I, it is kind of like a J sound. All right. You recognize this word? News. The news on the radio or television. Notice also that this one has 3 vowels together. I, E, U. New. In this case, you can see that we have a U, but it is one of the few times that the U or this letter is almost mute and that we fuse it with the W, like news. Now, for the same way, you get the adjective nieuw, new. Or a longer word, nieuwsgierig, curious. All of them have news. But you will see indeed that the U here is kind of like mute and combined with the W becomes new. Today, NG sound. And yes, for the first time, and maybe the only time, I'm going to tell you that the pronunciation of the NG sound is exactly the same as in English. Many students have a tendency to add sounds. Not necessary. Same as in English. Let's try these words. The first one, gevangenis. Yeah, this. Gevangenis, prison. Listen carefully. Gevangenis. The NG sound is nasal. There's no or in it. You don't say gevangenis or gevangenis. You don't. For example, a shorter word, similar to English. Ding. In English, thing. Notice that the ing in Dutch is the same as in English. Ding, thing. It's ing. In your mind, you should be able to make this as long as you can. Thing. If you make a G sound or a K sound, that would not be possible. So let's start with ding, thing. So if you say ding, you cannot continue making the sound. Or think, the K doesn't come out. That is important. That is how we do the NG sound. Here, another one, just for you to practice. Everybody loves this word. Belasting. Taxes, I know. Belasting. NG sound. You should be able to make it long, no G or K. So not belasting or belasting, belasting. Now you practice. Oh yeah, and like and subscribe.